Alright, so this is a bit of a different adventure video. I started off on the fuel gauge because this time I'm going to see how much fuel I use to travel around, but also for heating, because I recently had a diesel heater fitted to the motorhome. I just figured it was better than using small bottles of gas to heat the gas heater. The diesel heater is much more efficient. It really is much better at heating the motorhome. And the other thing is, as a bit of a test, you can see the Christmas decorations in the background. The other thing as a bit of a test is that it's proper cold now. And as I was driving, so I'm this is a weekend around Shropshire, and as I'm driving over, I'm sort of calculating about the amount of diesel I buy each month, and it's roughly the same amount as heating bills for gas and electric in a home. Obviously, that's wildly different for different homes, but it's roughly what I would have been paying at the house that I was living in. But I'm not just heating the motorhome, I am actually travelling around. And outside of that, my impact and bills are very, very small. I obviously buy food, organic food, always buy the best food for me and our future and the environment by buying organic. So yeah, this is a bit of a test over my travels around Shropshire. I was showing you the fuel gauge. So basically yesterday the fuel gauge was on a quarter of a tank. I put £40 in it, which put it just above half a tank. To get here from Pershore was about just over 2 hours. So that's basically what I've done so far for the fuel gauge to get down to a tank. So yeah, let's see. This is a bit of an experiment of trying to live a climate positive lifestyle, trying to do my very best to reduce my impact, which is why I really, really go to town on reducing my impact everywhere possible so that I can then travel around. Like if I can, I'll wash in rivers. Once a week I will use my own homemade coconut shampoo and body wash, so I'm not just washing in dirty water. I've recently bought the Lifesaver jerry can, so I'm not filling up with water from a tap anymore. I'm getting all the water off grid. And just generally my lifestyle is very low impact, so that's how I justify travelling around in a diesel motorhome, because my overall footprint is very, very low. And hopefully as well, cataloguing my journey in these videos and pictures and posts on our YouTube channel at Oxwich Adventures. Hopefully it's inspiring a few other people to disconnect from the main part of life, get out and about, and also care about ourselves and the world a bit more. So hopefully there's a bigger impact than just me living my own life. Anyway, that's a bit of me getting on the soapbox. So yeah, let's see. Let's see how I get on, and roughly how much diesel I might use on this trip around Shropshire. Now my first stop, my first stop. Sorry, let's go back a little bit. So I'm having a look at places from the Wild Guide Central England book. I'm having a tour around North Shropshire, and yesterday I stayed at, hang on a second, just here, Newbridge. There we go. Newbridge River Bandway. Number 1. Is there a picture of number 1? There you go. Yep, there's number 1. And there we go. So that's, the book says, a beautiful location for a family day splashing in the shallows, deeper pools for swims, or drift down to where the Vrinway merges. I didn't go in for a swim, but I did do my washing, obviously, washing up, obviously all eco and friendly, so that was all good. My next stop, if I just turn the page, is Derwen Farm Shop. So here we go. Now, I have been here before. So this is, Derwen Farm Shop, a great farm shop run by someone with a passion for good quality local produce, meat, bread, cheese, fruit and vegetables, and an interesting deli counter. Now, through any of these, if you want more details like where it is, how to park and all that sort of stuff, then buy the book. It's the Wild Guide Central England. And just to give you a heads up, sort of roughly the location I'm in. So I'm sort of to the west of Shrewsbury. I'm just around Welshpool. Number 1 is where I was last night. Number 29 is where I am now. The only other point I was going to make is the shadow. So I'm basically aiming to live as low impact as possible. I've invested in solar panels and a lithium ion battery. So my aim is to get all of my electricity from the sun. And what I'm doing here, I remembered that there was a really good car park at Derwen Farm Shop, and I am making sure that the sun is as directly behind me as possible, because that's how the solar panels are going to get the maximum sun for recharging the battery. So that was the only quick tip here. But next step is I'm going to do my weekly shopping at the farm shop. Now, I've come to this farm shop because they do sell organic produce. I also like buying from farm shops because most of the time, if it's a good farm shop, they'll be buying their produce locally. If it's organic, then it's been produced in a way that either doesn't make climate change worse or actually makes it better, so it's better for our future. And typically there'll be more nutrients, so the food is better. So, I like buying from local farm shops for many reasons, less food miles. And it's also a great way to eat a variety of different foods rather than go to the same shelf at the same supermarket and getting a bit of a sort of a habit of doing that sort of thing. So, Derwen Farm Shop is my next stop. I've turned off the... So my fuel gauge is on 0 at the moment, but if it was on, then it would be up a quarter. So the theme of this adventure is comparing the amount of fuel I would use to travel around and live in a motorhome versus a house, to consider my impact on this sort of lifestyle. So if you're travelling around in a motorhome or a van, then this is Derwen Farm Shop car park. I know car parks are a bit boring, but practically when you're in a motorhome, you've got to think about these things. Loads and loads and loads of space. So it's a great place to park up. There's also a cafe straight over, but I'm going to the farm shop on the left. And there is the farm shop. I'm going to go in. Okay, so shopping done. Quick shout out to Derwen. So I went for some bacon. I'm getting ahead of myself because that's for mine and Arthur's next adventure to Oxwich Bay, where we'll do a Pancake Fridays on a Sunday morning. Some sustainable mackerel, what looks like an absolutely delicious homemade sausage roll that I'm going to have with some beans for my lunch. Apples, pears, eggs, wholemeal bread. Definitely try and get in some chicken liver pate whenever I spot it. It's just packed with nutrients. Organic oats, as I need a refill before going back to Empty Jars refill shop in Evesham. Some olives for Arthur because he loves them. Also, some gherkins for Arthur because he also loves them, which I absolutely love. Raspberry jam to go with our peanut butter. Some more organic baked beans. And now we're getting into winter. I'm going to have a go at some organic tomato soup and a top-up of organic oats. All right, so that's it. I'm going to chill out here for a little bit before the next destination. Okay, here we go. So I've come a little bit north from the farm shop. We're at Lanimanek Limeworks Heritage Area. So based on where we are in the book, so I've come up from 29, which was Derwen Farm Shop, driven up to 24. So 24 is here. These pictures, the big picture in the top right. So the Wild Guide Central England book says fascinating Hoffman kiln that burned continuously in a sequence of chambers, the only one in the country with its chimney intact. pretty walks up the incline plane to the magnificent quarry rock face with industrial relics dotted along the way. As always, if you want to know where it is, how to get here, how to park, and all the other information, then get the book. And this is on page 117, number 24, and it'll tell you everything you need to know. And I'm going to set off and have a look at the top. So it's just a short walk from the car park. And here it is. So this first building is the Limeworks stables. And then you can see this map. Everything's pretty much, so this is where we are. And the Hoffman kiln is that fairly imposing structure over there. That is absolutely amazing. And then we're next to the stable education rooms, and there's a draw kiln, so I'm going to walk on up, have a butcher's at the Hoffman kiln. But yeah, I can imagine we're on the sort of side of a hill here, so there'd be some pretty good walks. I'm not going to do that today, but looks like all these decent walks. So you got kind of up to 45 minutes, hour and a half, or 2.5 hours. Looking out over some pretty amazing countryside, and today it's all lovely and frosty, so you get an even better view. So up close, this really is quite some structure. Proper factory out in the countryside. And it says, unfortunately, when this Hoffman kiln was built in 1899, the design was already obsolete. Not the best planning, I suppose. So if you're curious or nosy like me, then you'll probably want to walk inside. This is pretty impressive. Wow. This would have been a raging inferno in the day, I imagine. That is huge. Absolutely huge. Wow. You've got just around the corner an example of one of the trucks that have been bringing more limestone in to the kiln. That would have been a back-breaking job. So just out the back of the Hoffman kiln, it's, apart from a bit of noise from the road, it's pretty peaceful, pretty beautiful with the cliff in the background. But in its day, this would have been a super busy junction of steam trains bringing coal, trucks bringing limestone. I suppose if you could go back in time and tell all the people working here that a couple of 100 years, well, 100 odd years, a bit more, people would be walking around here as a tourist attraction, they probably wouldn't even believe it. And then this is a view back on top of the lime kiln that we just walked through. It says, wanted skilled men with thick skin. The Hoffman kiln is hot work. Yeah, very, very, very physical work. They would have been super fit, but ultimately overworked, which may well have contributed to a shorter life expectancy, probably also breathing in the smoke. Not good. But definitely their active lifestyle and the sorts of food, if they were able to eat good food, they would be much more connected to the seasons and what's growing around them. This just caught my eye. Flesh-eating lime, the worst job. Yeah, obviously quick lime reacts with water, so when you sweat you're basically going to get burnt. Nasty. Right, so I'm heading back out away from this stopover. I'm going to grab some lunch have that sausage roll and some organic baked beans, and then decide the next stop off. Okay, so my next stop is this mightily impressive. This is Kynaston's Cave on Nesscliffe Hill, and the book says, marvel at the extensive carved staircase leading up to the hideout of the notorious highwayman Wild Humphrey Kynaston, Shropshire's very own, very real Robin Hood figure. Hill fort remains in woods above. And what that means from where I am. So, yeah, here's Shrewsbury. I'm currently at number 24. I'm going to take this road across to go to 19. That'll be the next stop. So I'm at my destination. That's the pub just over there, Three Pigeons, but I parked up the road just there. And here we go. Here's the entrance to Nesscliffe Hill Country Park and Kynaston's Cave. What a fantastic view over the valley. I'm not sure the name of the hills, but that's roughly where I'm headed next. It's a beautiful walk up the hill and around the edge of the woods. Okay, so we're turning off the main path here. It's going to get pretty steep. I've definitely got high expectations about how cool Kynaston's Cave is going to be, because just up there through the woods is pretty impressive cliff face. It's really, really nice walk. What feels like very, very natural woodland as well. Whether it is or not is a different matter. Here you go. Oh wow. You can see it just through there. This is very cool. Whoa. Oh no, you can't walk up the steps. That is so cool. What a spot. Be a great spot for a picnic. Can't really see back down the valley, but we're quite high up here. Wow. That is awesome. There's a sign here with a bit more about it. Wild Humphrey Kynaston. In the 16th century, Nesscliffe Hill became a rendezvous for highway robbers. The wooded hill probably provided an excellent place from which to surprise travellers on the main Oswestry to Shrewsbury Road. Very cool. If you're interested, this sign is Shropshire County Council, Shropshire Tourism Development Action Programme. Very cool. Very, very, very cool. Well, I couldn't come all this way without having a peek inside. This is very cool. Huh. What a spot. What a great location. Look at here, look at this view. That's fantastic. Okay, I'm back in the motorhome. So I've just ticked off 19, that was Kynaston's Cave. And now I'm heading down to 5, which is this picture over here. And the book says, Severn Brinway Confluence, Crew Green. A glorious stretch of deep, tranquil water where the Severn and Brinway meet. Perfect for jumps, dives and swimming. Now my plan is nice and sunny. My plan is to go for a run and then have a dip in the water. But let's see how brave I am. And then also, as this is a fuel challenge, let's have a sense check. So I'm just below half a tank at the moment. So I've probably used not quite an eighth of a tank so far. Let's see how we get on our travels. Now, in the interest of having as few plans as possible, but lots of ideas. I've decided to change my mind. I'm actually going to drive just past where I was just planning, and I'm going to go to I'm going to park to then do a run up to Admiral Rodney's Pillar. And the book says, just over here, imposing pillar within a hill fort on Bredon Hill, thought to be the last stand of Caractacus against the Romans. It's an energetic walk. I'm going to do a run. Now I've been seeing that as I've been travelling around today, and it's definitely interesting. So I'm going to do a run up there, and then after the run, I'm going to be nice and sweaty, so I'm going to then go and park up at the wild swimming spot for a dip in the freezing cold water. Fingers crossed. So just quickly pulled over. I'm not sure if you can see it, but that's where I'm headed. Right at the top of that hill. It looks pretty steep. It's going to be a good run. I guess we're not doing that because of shooting. Oh dear. Alright, plan B. Okay, so I did come to number 5, which is the Severn Brynway confluence at Crew Green, but to be honest, because there's been a lot of flooding, the bank is just super soggy. So basically I went for a run along the river, came back, walked down. I wanted to have a dip and also do washing in the river, but it's just not very nice basically. So little bit of a change of plan. I was going to stay here tonight, but instead I'm going to head to, now where's the picture? Here we go. This one here, which is Chirk Aqueduct. So it looks like there's a good spot to park overnight. And here's what the book says about it. It says, it feels as if you're walking in the air as you stroll across Telford's elegant, imposing yellow sandstone aqueduct, 21 metres above the river Ceiriog. So that's where I'm going to head next, and that's where I'm going to spend the night. It's now dark, so it's basically 10 to 5 in the evening, and doing a sense check on fuel, as it's a bit of a fuel challenge, this one. So we're down to, we've sort of used not quite a quarter of a tank, but so let's see. I'm kind of, tomorrow is the last of sort of jetting around from place to place. I'm going to be parked up and just using heating. So let's see how we get on. But hopefully the next bit of this video is in daylight. Right then, so I've just finished my morning yoga. It's Sunday morning, and look outside. We got snow. How cool's that? So last night I drove up to Chirk Aqueduct. That's where I am now. But we got some proper snow outside. It was a bit chilly in here last night, 4 degrees. But I'm getting used to it and learning new tricks. And this is my view out the door. Right next to the canal. Really pretty place, great place to park. Right, I'm shutting the door, keep the heat in. And first thing I'm going to do a run up to the aqueduct to go and see what it's like. So let's see what we discover. Okay, so I ran along the canal, and at the other end of Chirk Viaduct. Come in here because there's not just a viaduct. You got a bridge next to it and this huge tunnel that goes for quite a way. I've not gone the other end. You can see the dot at the end. So this area had an immense amount of construction, and the one thing that makes it unique is just up here. And so the sign says this is the only aqueduct that goes across 2 different countries. At the moment I'm in Wales. Now I'm in England. How cool is that? The view's pretty impressive. And the river down below. It is a crisp December morning. It just looks amazing with the light dusting of snow from last night. That impressive river just below. And then along the canal. Oh, actually, quick edit to what I just said. That's a bit weird. So the Welsh border is back there, and then the English border is there. Does that mean I'm currently nowhere? Well, nowhere that people have drawn lines on a map anyway. All right, random. But anyway, what I was going to say, yeah, along the canal, you've got a few of these really pretty cottages dotted along the side, so it makes for a really nice walk or a run, depending on what you're into. But that's it for me. I'm going to run back to the motorhome, get on a coffee and get some breakfast, and then I'm going to head off to the next destination, which actually is Mountain Warehouse, because that's the local outdoor camping shop. And I definitely need some winter supplies now that I've been in the camper, in the motorhome, for a good few nights and days when it's been proper cold. So I need to prepare a bit better. Okay then, so I decided to go for a little bit of a detour because it was local and I'm a member. I've come to the very impressive and imposing Chirk Castle. As you walk up the hill, you see these two big turrets. Now, whether it was what it was actually designed for, I don't actually know. I've not found out yet, but it certainly looks like it's built for defence. So this is definitely one of the main reasons for me come to a National Trust place at Christmas, is to get into the festive spirit. And I just love the effort that's gone in to preparing all these beautiful properties. Yeah, definitely feel Christmassy.